Where do I begin, guys? Where do I begin? Where did I go so wrong, honestly? Well, you've seen the title and you've seen the thumbnail. The van's failed the MOT big time. We got scammed again whilst buying a car. Please excuse the train. More often than not, there's been about 2 cars that I bought that haven't been scammed on, which is Z4 and the Mazda 3, I think. Mazda 3, that was just, the reason that broke was just because it was so high mileage, but there was nothing wrong with it when we bought it. But this van, yeah, it's got very bad corrosion. I mean, very bad. Like, it is, yeah, it's not good. But I thought there was no corrosion on it. I checked around the wheel arches and I thought, brilliant, there's no rust. If there's no rust around the wheel arches, why would there be any underneath? Didn't bother to check underneath. You know why? Because I thought all the work had been done on it. Because if you look back on the MOT history, right, all these advisories come up, all these repair immediatelys come up on the last MOT, and they're all about corrosion and welding and all that lot, so I assume it had been done, because a few days later it passed. So, when we took the van for an MOT, and we expected it to, you know, come up with something, but there was no advisories, but we know, just because of our luck, something was going to happen. So Dad takes the van to get an MOT done. He calls back and says, almost in tears really, "We've been scammed again. Oh, the van's effed. Yeah, underneath is effed. It's rust. It's corroded. Everything. It hasn't been done. They reckon they scammed you on the last MOT or something." So yeah, that's when we found out that work hadn't been done. None of it had been done on the last MOT, which was extremely annoying. Of course, because you rely on an MOT. You look at it when you buy a car. You look at it. You say, what was done in the last MOT? What he's doing? What advisories? Oh, nothing. It's all been done. We can buy this van, you know, knowing that nothing's going to go wrong with it. All the rust has been taken care of. But no, you can't even trust an MOT now. So anyway, yeah, they quoted us $2.5 grand, this garage, to get the welding done. Which, needless to say, we do not have the money for that, really. So Mum's got a big overdraft, luckily. But Dad managed to find someone called, I don't know, a local mechanic called Steve. You know someone, a welder. Dad managed to get in contact with him. And he said it would cost about £1,500. Right. But then Dad managed to find someone even cheaper called Brendan, a guy who comes to the pub, and Dad didn't know he's a welder, but turns out he is. So Brendan would say, "I'll do it for $1 grand." Okay, so we accepted that, of course, trying to save some money. And a few days go by, and Brendan repairs all the holes in the van. I mean, there is a lot on each seal and wheel arch and holes everywhere, really. And I'll just play this footage and just show you the extensive holes that this van has once they've all been welded, once they've all been grinded down, getting rid of all the rust. Yeah, that is extremely bad. And yeah, it is really frustrating. But needless to say, it is what it is, and we've got to get it done now, haven't we? So anyway, all that preparing was done, and then Dad takes the van again for the welding, because that was just preparations. So the welding, yeah, Brendan was doing that, did half of it. The MOT was the next day. But then Brendan calls in sick. He says, I can't do it today. And then he calls in sick the next day. I can't do it today. And then eventually the next day he did it, but we had to rebook another MOT, which would be down in Ilfracombe, because that was the time we were going down in Ilfracombe. So, yeah, then we decided, let's see if we can book an MOT test down there. So we book an MOT test down there, down at Monaco again, but not Robin's garage. Is it Fort Park garage, I think? We go in there. We expect, the welders will be done, we're going to pass. No. We didn't pass. No. Van failed again. Apparently the welding had not been done to a professional state, and it was ineffective welding really. He had not done a continuous weld on the joins, which is a new MOT policy, I believe. Before it could just be spot welds, but now it's a continuous weld. So failed that, and turns out this MOT place failed on a whole load of things more that other places hadn't. But they did have a bad day, because it turns out that day they had some work done in the reception and it was taking longer than planned, and they wanted to cancel our MOT, but we couldn't do that because it was very, the MOT has to be done then, that's the only opportunity we have. Right. So the guy wasn't very happy on the phone because he didn't want to do the MOT that day, and Mum said, no, I'm doing it, and then she towels on this guy as well to the receptionist, and that probably got back to him and pissed him off even more. So he gave a very, very thorough MOT, just to spite us, we reckon. Poking holes in the van as well, quite literally. Stabbing the van, putting new holes in it that wouldn't have come up before, so now we had to get them welded as well. So anyway, get back up north from Africa, go and take the van to get welded again by Brendan, redone. So we get all these holes re-welded, we get all of his old welds properly repaired because he rushed it before, and he wants another £400, so that's £1,400 in welding, not MOT costs. You can add another £200 to that for MOTs so far, so that's £1,600. Guess what? For some reason, this garage can't do our class vehicle. Ours is a class 6. Well, all the other garages is class 5. It's not classed as class 6. Class 6. Or is it class 5? I get mixed up. Is it class 5 and class 4? I don't know. But anyway, turns out this garage can't do our van because it's a minibus, a commercial vehicle, even though all the others have done it, no problem. So that, pisses Dad off even more. And everyone's all stressed and just a bit heartbroken really at that time, and so Dad had to try and rebook another MOT test as quick as he could, which he did manage to do. So anyway, takes it to the next MOT test next morning. Luckily managed to get one in. Failed again, and it failed on improper repairs again. Turns out this Brendan fella, there's still repairs that he hadn't done properly. So Mum is absolutely fuming with this guy, and she asked for her £400 back. He won't give it back. So then Dad said, let's go to that original guy, Steve's mate. So he contacts Steve's mate. He gets us in as quick as he possibly can the next morning, and prepares all the welding for Dad. So he finishes off the welding where Brendan messed up and does proper job, and luckily we had another MOT. They just managed to slit us in at 4:10, and Dad goes there, and within about 15 minutes the van had actually PASSED'd, passed. Yes, it finally passed on its 4th MOT test. I mean, if that failed, we were just going to absolutely lose it. I mean, Mum and Dad were thinking about scrapping the van, and in the end it cost Mum and Dad about £1,800, maybe £2,000 in the end. So Mum's in a lot of debt at the moment, so it is a bit annoying really. But anyway, in the end we do have a decent van now, but I hope you learn from our lessons. Do not take an MOT test for granted, and always check underneath thoroughly for rust holes. I don't know, me and Dad just get rose tinted glasses whenever we get our eyes set on a vehicle and we can't see the bad sides of it. But don't get rose tinted glasses, okay? They're not good. Anyway, just thought I'd tell you the story of our first MOT with the van. Cost us £2,000. Great. So I said to Mum when we were going to buy a van, okay Mum, just put £5,000 aside, from your savings, which little you have left, just to buy a decent van. So I managed to find this one for £3,000. We knocked them down to 2.8, and in the end it did cost us £5,000, didn't it? Just to get a decent van out of it. But yeah, the van is solid now, structurally sound. All the rust is done. Me and Dad in the spring are going to underbody coat it and make sure it doesn't rust anymore. Whew, what a nightmare. Anyway, that is the story, and I hope you enjoyed. If you do feel like donating, I've got a link in the description and comments if you want to just help out towards the costs of this really expensive MOT test. But apart from that, I hope you all enjoyed. Give it a like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos. Alright, see you soon.